Welcome to the Glow Getters podcast. My name is Fahey-Ahrndt, and I'm your host. I teach and inspire leaders to step into their productive selves and find their true potential. I'm a passionate creative and scientist with over 8 years of healthcare leadership experience. At age 25, I stepped into my first management role and didn't find the leadership advice I was looking for. So here I'm giving you the tools to end burnout and enjoy a vibrant career and life. Glad you're here to learn and grow with me. Now, on with the show. Welcome to the Glow Getters podcast. Hi, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm Kayla. I am a leadership expert. I love to teach leadership tips, tricks, strategies, tangible tools, and pair it with mindset work. I'm the creator of the Leave Happy method. If you haven't followed my new Instagram account, my free community, it's called @LeaveHappyMethod. I share more about that. I just launched a brand new planner just for leaders. It's called the Leader Standard Workbook. Right now it's in digital form, and you can use it on any note-taking app on your tablet. But soon, I don't have a date yet, it's going to be in print. So I'm very excited. The launch went really well. Again, just a shout out to, Maria, Catherine, and Jenny for purchasing the planner. I'm so excited. And it's cool because two of these women I met through this YouTube channel. So it's like, wow, these videos are really helping people and they're finding me. So thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that. So on the YouTube channel and on my Leave Happy Method Instagram account, I just did a plan with me for July for the monthly view. And so for this video, if you're listening on the podcast, I wanted to still give you value about thinking about your monthly plan without having to watch the YouTube video. If you want to, you can go check it out. But if not, sit tight and you can just listen here. I want to talk about planning and looking at your calendar on a monthly level, what that does for us, some of the benefits, and how we can find success as doing this as part of our Leader Standard work. But I think these tips are going to help you even if you're just planning for like non-work related stuff. And even if you don't consider yourself a leader, which by the way, you are. And so I hope you enjoy some of these tips. It doesn't matter what planner you're using. These are going to apply no matter what. So let's dive on in. So first of all, I want to talk about the months and the year. So the year is 12 months. I know you guys know this. That's not that many months. That's not that many increments in 1 year. And that reminded me of the book I had listened to on Audible. Let me show you. It's called The 12-Week Year. Here we go. The 12-Week Year. And it's by Brian P. Morgan and Michael Lennington. It's so good. You guys, okay, so here's the thing with the year. It goes by so quickly. And we set annual goals. And all of a sudden we realize, like, how are we supposed to meet these milestones over an entire year that are going to help us achieve our goals? And it really requires thoughtful planning in being really intentional with your time, because if you're not, all of a sudden it's July 2021 almost, and you're like, oh my gosh, the year is half over. I need to check in with my annual goals. What have I done? Have I done anything? Have I been intentional? Can I still reach my goals? So this same concept of the 12-week year, in the book, they're talking about like looking at goals over a 12-week period, which is essentially a quarter's worth of the year, right? So short-term goals where you can basically sprint. And the whole theory about in their book is that you can sprint and have energy and momentum around 12 weeks a lot easier than you can in a whole year. 12 weeks creates more urgency for you. When you're thinking about 12 weeks, now all of a sudden, everything that you do every week and every day and really every hour start to matter a whole lot more. I kind of think about it in the same way for each month. There are always those tasks that sort of like, and tell me if you can relate in the comments or message me on Instagram at Fahey-Ahrndt. Or at Glow Getters Podcast, but tell me, are there things that just like, I'm doing air quotes, sneak up on you every single month, even though you do them every single month? You expend energy on them every single month. If you're shaking your head, yeah, like, oh my gosh, every month I have to do X, Y, Z. I have to pay this bill. I have to budget. I have to send in these reports. I have to pull data. I have to whatever. If we plan and look ahead, that's going to keep you being so much more proactive. I think that's why I really got into digital planning and planning in general, planners in general, because you always feel like you're being a little bit more proactive. Even if you miss a couple days in your planner, you also have already mapped out things. You're like, you have an awareness of what's going on. It's so much better than using your computer's calendar and only looking at the week or the day in front of you. And then all of a sudden it's like Friday. So you click ahead and you look at next week and you're like, oh, I have a massive deadline coming up, or I forgot about that meeting. Like, that's never a good feeling. So that's why I think it's so important to look ahead as part of your Leader Standard work, is to plan your month, maybe like the week before the current month is over. That's going to help you so much. So when I think of the month, there's 3 or 4 main things that I want to do when I'm looking at the month and when I'm filling out my planner, my schedule, or looking at my calendar. And the first thing is to look at where my personal life and my work life intersect, see if I have any deadlines coming up, make sure I have time off, and really manage my energy. So I'm going to go break down all of these for you. So the first thing is looking at where my personal life and my work life intersect. Here's the thing. I've had bosses before and people that I've worked with before who try really hard to remain very, very private, and that's fine. I don't mind that at all. Well, what ends up happening is they don't seem to be able to manage their home and their work life very well because they are trying to keep them separate. Now, hear me out. Some of you are going to be like, aren't you supposed to leave home at home and not bring it to work? Yes and no. Here's my theory. We're humans. We have real emotions that affects our mindset. Our mindset and our beliefs are the things that we bring to work. That affects our performance, our relationships at work, the confidence we have when we're at work. So yeah, you need to work on the things at home, your mindset, your beliefs, everything that you experience when you're not at work, so you can have a good day or month or whatever it is at work. So, and then another reason is it's just more practical to think about them. I plan details about projects and stuff very separately. Like, I wouldn't put my kitchen remodel that we're currently doing in my work planner, right? But I do want to look at the calendar and the month view together, so I know what appointments do I have at home that I need to be aware of for scheduling work. So for example, I'm pregnant, right? If you've been around, you know I am. I'm about 21, 22 weeks pregnant by the time this posts. And I have doctor's appointments, right? I'm fortunate my work is very flexible. I can make time. If I had to go in the beginning or the end of my workday, I could do that. So I want to be aware of that. I need to go, right? The longer I'm pregnant, the more frequent those appointments get. So it's very important to have an awareness of it. I don't separate the fact that I have doctor appointment from the fact that I have to work every day. It's just part of my day. Another example would be the weekend. I still think of that Lady Grantham meme from Downton Abbey where she's like, what is a weekend?
What do you do with your time?
I've got a job in Ripon. I said I'll start tomorrow.
A job? You do know I mean to involve you in the running of the estate.
Oh, don't worry. There are plenty of hours in the day. And, of course, I'll have the weekend.
What is a weekend?
I digress. If you're going to plan traveling on the weekend, say to see your family, or you have a birthday, or church is really important too. Whatever activities you have that are not work ones, or maybe volunteerism with work, without work, that's important to know because for me, I travel to different sites throughout the week. Maybe I want to know Friday, I don't want to be on the other side of the cities. I want to be close to home so that I can leave for the weekend on time. Or maybe I want to take some time off. So thinking about, I'm going to skip down to the third one, PTO or time off, paid time off. We, like I said, are humans, and all humans need some time to rest, and you don't need to work straight without any breaks for an extended period of time. Yes, I said that. You deserve breaks, because guess what? When you rest, when you take a break, when you have a day off, you can decompress, and then guess what? You show up even better at work when you come back. And so I was doing my plan with me for the Leader Standard Workbook July setup, and I forgot to record. I forgot to put PTO or time off on it when I initially recorded. So I had to record another short little clip and post that on my Instagram right away and say, like, this is so important. And it's just kind of a reminder as a high achiever, the high achiever that you are, the Enneagram 3, the Enneagram 2, the 9s, the 1s, whatever you are, the 2s, you can find it really, really hard to remember, like, I should schedule out some time to be off. Even if you want to be intentional and you've worked on that, like me, for a while. So it's a good reminder. So yeah, just for practical reasons, having awareness of that my life, my home does overlap with work. And that's because I'm a human, and that's okay. Now, do I bring any drama with me to work from my home? No, like, that's not what I'm talking about. Just the fact that, like, I don't just flip a switch and then now I'm different now that I'm not working, or I'm different now that I'm working. I'm the same person. And then the last thing I look at, or the other two things I look at, the first one is deadlines. So when I'm looking at my calendar on a monthly level, I want to have an awareness of any deadlines, meetings, important interactions I'm going to have throughout that month. So make sure that you have an awareness of, am I meeting with my 1-up, my boss, or maybe my 2-up? Like for me, I meet with my director, but then I do have monthly one-on-ones with my VP. Now, I want to prepare for those meetings, especially for the VP, because I only get like 1 day a month, or 1 hour a month with that person. And also, like, their time and my time is very valuable. So I want to prepare and know what I want to talk about. And I don't want that to sneak up on me, because a lot of times I'm crunching numbers and I want to bring visuals to that meeting so that I can quickly explain something rather than just like rambling. I also want to be aware of deadlines. So for my work, we have a large computer system conversion. We're going to a new instance of an electronic medical record, and we're changing laboratory computer systems. That's huge. I have a list of to-dos that I need to get done before go live, and then back those deadlines up. Then I need to think about, like, okay, I want to get the communication out about these new changes ahead of time too. So now all of a sudden, maybe you're a week or two ahead of your deadline or a major change where you need to be communicating. So you can see really quickly how, if you're not looking at your week, all of a sudden you might be 2 weeks behind, or a month, you might be 2 weeks behind because you're like, oh yeah, I wanted to communicate that like a week or two in advance. And now the deadline's, reached, and, now I've got to communicate something that's going live like right now. So having the deadlines in mind keeps you proactive and helps you know how to prioritize. I tell my staff and my leaders all the time, they'll ask me, okay, here's my project list. What should I be working on? And I'm like, okay, well, which one, like, what are the deadlines? The one with the closest deadline, I'm going to say, well, that's probably the one you need to focus on, unless the other ones are more urgent or more important. So that helps you be proactive. And then lastly, I really enjoy looking at the month, because there is only so much you can do in a month until you max out your energy capacity, especially if you don't have a ton of time off, or especially if you have a very demanding job or you have a lot of accountability. So let me explain some more. If you work Monday through Friday, let's say, that's only, and then 4 weeks a month, that's 20 days to get your work done. So out of like 30 or 31 days, that's 10 days less. So that's 20. And then if you think about when we look at Leader Standard Work and what I've shown you, and if you think about your own job, what would be ideal is half or less than half of your day scheduled in meetings with other people to talk about whatever plans and actions you want to take. That's not actually doing or taking action or creating or like communicating, right? That's just like talking. That's more passive work. So now instead of 20 days, let's cut it in half. You have half the hours of 20 days. So let's just say 10 days for simplification. If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what does. That means you have 2 working weeks to get pretty much all your projects done, and probably less because I don't know if you've seen my Leader Standard Work lately that I've been sharing. It's much more than half my days are scheduled outside of the things I want to do for my own work and goals. So that means you have 2 working weeks to get everything done that you need to accomplish in that month. So planning and looking ahead and looking at the month in its entirety and identifying your personal and your work deadlines or scheduled plans, when you're going to take time off, what activities tend to sneak up on you. That's going to help you be very proactive and be very intentional, but also set like boundaries around what can I actually tackle in a month? How can I manage my energy just a little bit better and be realistic? I don't know about y'all, but I have a shirt. It says Eternal Optimist. And I was going to say, I don't know about you, but that's me. And I've had to work really hard about being more realistic about what's possible. And I still overestimate my capacity all the time. But I'm working on maybe only doing that for myself and trying to under-promise and over-deliver to others. That is a huge goal of mine. So I hope these tips help you think about, this puts it in perspective. You have 12 months out of an entire year. That's not very many increments. That's 12. That's not very many. And then you think about Monday through Friday work, which is pretty typical for a lot of leaders. So that's out of 31 days, you have about 20 days to work total. And then if 50% of your day is scheduled with meetings, that's 10 hours a week total, or 10 days a week, 10 days a month total that you can work. So from 31 days to 20 days to 10 days of work, which is 2 working weeks and probably less, right? So being really, really intentional and realistic with the energy that you have and what you can accomplish. Schedule that time off, be aware of your deadlines, and allow your work and personal life to mesh so that you can manage it all and so that it doesn't combust. You don't want to drop the ball on family, but you also don't want to drop your work ball. If I was going to drop one, I'd drop work and I'd choose my family, right? But the ideally is that you can manage your time and your schedule so you can keep both balls in the air and keep juggling and enjoy your weekends. All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video and this podcast. I hope that helped you just kind of like conceptualize how important it is to take a look at your month. Hopefully like a week or two, probably a week before the current month, and plan it out no matter what app you're using or no matter what template. If you are interested in my Leader Standard Workbook, it is linked in the show notes. It'll also be in the description of this video. You can also find it on my website. My website is glowgetterslife.com, and you can find it at the Leave Happy Method shop. So it's glowgetterslife.com/Leave Happy Method. Sorry, I should say store. It's one of the tabs on my website. Go check it out. And when you purchase, I give you free stickers to help decorate your planner, which is like a whole nother thing. Make it fun. And I also send you an email with an invite to my private leadership collaborative community and a little bit bonus discount there that I'll share in an email once you purchase the Leader Standard Workbook. So, all right, everyone, don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications if you're on YouTube. If you're on the podcast, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a notification that a new episode is live. Podcasts typically come out every single Tuesday. All right, take care and be well. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening to the Glow Getters podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, please give me a good rating and review. I would so much appreciate all the good feedback you have for me. If you like this content and you want to get some more of it, maybe even see me and watch some videos, you can check out my YouTube channel. Just search Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt and you should be able to find my channel, which I call the Leadership Collaborative, which has tons of great information on leadership and tells you a little bit more about my Leadership Collaborative community that is always enrolling at the end of each month. All right, everyone, thanks so much again. I hope you stay well and safe. Be a light. Talk soon. Bye.